welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, we are going to discuss the solution part of this particular problem, that is subsequence. So the thought process that we are going to use in solving this particular problem is going to be very simple because the problem itself is very simple. Okay, so what we are going to do is, suppose S is the string, that we need to check that whether it is the subsequence of the another string, that is T. So we are going to make two pointers I and j, and we will set a base case basically that I should be less than s dot length, so that now we do not reach the out of bound exceptions or something like that, and j should be less than basically the t dot length. Okay, it should be less than t dot length. So I will start pointing at the beginning of this particular string, that is s, and j will point towards the beginning of this particular string, that is t. So if the characters at s and t are equal, basically the char at s is equal to char at t, char at t, what we are going to do is we are going to increment both the pointers, that is I plus plus and j plus plus. And if not, they are not equal, then we are just going to increment the j pointer. Okay, no, I can write it in a more clear fashion. That is if char at s is equal to char at t, what we are going to do is I plus plus j plus plus. Okay, this was the first thing that we are going to do. Okay, and in the else part, what we are going to do is, if they are not equal, then only the j pointer will get incremented. So what will happen if we perform this particular thing is that we can see from this particular example itself that suppose in the first case both the characters are equal only, so I will get incremented one place, I will be incremented by one. So I will come here, and j will come basically at this particular place. Okay, now these both are not equal. Okay, so only the j pointer will get incremented, that is it will start marking towards b. Okay, now these both are equal, so what will happen, I will also get incremented and j will also get incremented. So what we're going to do is these both will get incremented. So now I will mark here, will start pointing towards c, and j will start pointing towards g. Okay, now since both are not equal, only the j pointer will get incremented, so it will start you know pointing towards t. Again, these both are not equal, so it will get incremented by 1 again, so it will at last start pointing towards c. Now these both are equal. Now these both are equal, so it will get incremented, but before incrementing they will violate this particular base case. They will violate this particular base case that it should be less than length, so they will come out of the loop. And the return statement, what we are going to check, suppose this particular string s is present in this particular thing, that is abgdc, it is present in this particular string, so it has traversed its full length, then only it is possible for this particular string to be present in uh, the the this particular t string. Okay, so we are going to check that if return if I, the pointer I, is equal to s dot length. If it is so, then it is true only that this particular string is present in the this particular, what we call, t string. Okay, so that's the basic logic. Now we will quickly code this particular thing. Okay, so what we have discussed is we are going to create two pointers, int I marking 0 I is 0, int j is equal to 0. Okay. Now the base case is that while I is less than s dot length, don't forget to put the brackets here. Okay. And j is less than basically t dot length, then what we are going to do is that if char at can basically s dot char at I is equal to t dot char at j, what we are going to do is we are going to increment I and j. Okay, else they are not equal. What we are going to do is we are going to increment only the j pointer, that is j plus plus. And at last what we are going to do is okay, so okay, at last what we are going to do is we are going to check that if this s has iterated its full length, then it will be true, that will be the subsequence, and if not, then we are going to return false. Okay, I is equal to s dot length, basically we will quickly run this particular thing. So it is getting accepted. Now we'll quickly submit this thing.